Hello, and welcome to another episode of Color Commentary. My name is Glenn Whitmore, and I'm a 30-year plus veteran of the comic book industry. In this series, I review and reminisce about an old comic I colored. This series is sponsored by Captain Clockwork, the greatest hero of all time. Now available on CaptainClockwork.BigCartel.com. So, Adventures of Superman number 451. And this is very early on in my Superman run. Probably this is my second issue of Adventures of Superman, and I have a distinct memory of. Of coloring this around Thanksgiving of 1988. I remember the guides were sitting on my board. Some of the guides that I already colored, and I specifically remember this splash page being there, and I always kind of associate this with Thanksgiving because back then local TV station WPIX Channel 11 in New York would broadcast a Adventures of Superman marathon, the series starring George Reeves. So I was giving thanks particularly that year for being part of the Superman mythos. You know, being one of the newest people included in that, and I'm always thankful. So anyway, here's the cover. There's really no color except on the corner figure, the logo, and the credits. But beyond that, it's all duo shade. Jerry Ordway did the cover, and he did it all in duo shade, which back then you had to do with the brush-on stuff. It was a piece of duotone paper that you would brush on a solution after you penciled and inked on it. Then you would brush on a solution, and it would bring out a tone, some type of crosshatch tone. So he's got a couple of different tones going on in here, so I don't know exactly which shade of paper he used for that. But anyway, so that's that. And Jerry, of course, is one of my all-time favorites, and just so thrilled to be working on his work over his work. I'd known him from All-Star Squadron, and so anyway. But anyway, back to this. This is flat colors. Of course, the old dot screens and the old 64 colors available. And these pages were really easy to color because he spotted a lot of blacks in them. There was just the figure. You didn't have to do a lot of rendering. And these particular set of pages went really fast. You know, I had this white creature, and all I had to do was hit it with B25. Of course, I relied on a lot of grays and purples at the time. He was in space, so we made his uniform colors just a bit darker than normal, but we kept the yellow breathing thing that he's using in space. We kept that straight yellow, but the yellow in his S shield, we made more of a gold. You know, we added R25 to the yellow. So, and of course, I was relying on a lot of knockouts and stuff like that. Knocked a lot of these figures out in purple. Kept the focus on these guys. This is YR B25, and this is YR B50 here. So, one questionable decision I made was this dark blue frame for the door merging with the dark blue in the uniforms of the officers. So if you look here, I would. This is maybe a little questionable here. I have this sort of magenta purple RB25 on here. Maybe a little bit distracting. Inspector Henderson here, of course, is the focus, and I thought literally, like, well, he's got this gray overcoat on, parka overcoat, whatever that is. And like I said before, I resorted to a lot of grays, purples, and neutrals on this. Here's a knockout for a flashback scene. And this is a nice page here. I did knockouts on the guys in the back here, but brought out some important figures here that were going to be focused. I think that's supposed to be Dan Rather, I think. So anyway, yeah, lots of knockouts. Here's an effect panel here with Morgan Edge being lit by the television light, and then he's in darkness. Back to outer space here, the easy pages. Here's a thing where they were doing this heat vision thing with Superman, but they weren't using like the traditional ray blast coming from the eyes. It's just his eyes were lighting up red without the eye beams, and so it had to be really apparent with the red eyes that he was using his heat vision. So it wasn't the traditional way it was done years and years ago with Kurt Swan and all those guys. So anyhow, this was an easy panel. Lots of easy panels here. And lots of spotted blacks. Here's Jerry using Zipatone for a gradation from black into this light blast. And I remember when I was a kid, the All-Star comics, Wally Wood drawing the JSA, and there was a particular issue that he did where he used a lot of these gradated zips for a great effect. And here's Luthor. Side lighting here with Y25 going into Y25R25, and then Y25R25 B25 for the shading, and then popped out with this blue. And I put him in this purple, magenta purple workout outfit. And I thought, well, that's what he used to wear when he was in the old days when he had that costume, so I would tie that in. I was trying to gray out the things in the distance and put heavier colors on the things that were important. So I look at some of these pages and I, for the life of me, can't tell you what was going on through my head. So with the decisions. Perhaps if I were given the same tools and today, I would probably keep it a lot more poppier, a lot more because on the newsprint it doesn't really hold up well. Although this book looks pretty good. Green for the bathroom, kind of that mint green. I seem to shine a lot better on Jerry's stuff than most artists for some reason. Here's a page I enjoyed doing, just knocking out Superman in yellow and gold because he was close to the sun, I guess. I think that's what the story was. And oh, there goes my alarm. So we'll wrap this up here. So here we're back at the Kent's farm. Back to just natural kind of straight colors, you know. Cutting to a knockout. It's okay to do a knockout every once in a while, just as long as you still know that this is the same character. There were some in-jokes in this panel. There's Carlin's House of Couches, Jonathan's House of Fine Women. I kind of deaden those. Like, you have to look a little further past the taxi cab to catch those, you know. But, you know, the rule, keep the strong colors on the main characters. And here's a yellow taxi cab. Everything else around it is neutral. Here's a dark red for the foreground, this building in the foreground. And there's that purple again. I used a lot of that. And more knockouts. You know, the rules were different then. You could do these flat colors, and it was like a game. Everything was like a game. It was sort of like a game, and you were a crossword puzzle, and you were plugging in letters to fill in a crossword. That's the way I liken it to. You know, you get this black and white artwork, and you have these 64 colors in your arsenal, and it's like you fill in these colors, you know, these absolute values of these 64 colors. So anyway, here's this effect here with the line effect, with the knockout effect, with a force field cage around this guy here. I think this is Gangbuster in that costume. And here we got this panel in the bar, and I just decided all red was okay, and it works because there's a lot of black spotted in the black background as well. So so the red isn't as oppressive as if it were left all open. You know, and then the guys in the bar are all drenched in gold and orange. And that's about it, really. And there you go. That's the end of it. So thank you for joining Adventures of Superman 451. Hope you enjoyed this color commentary, and I will be back soon with yet another one. Thanks for joining.